17 kids. One night. Gone. No screams, no struggle, just the sound of dozens of tiny footsteps fading into the darkness, and then nothing. In the small town of Maybrook, people don't lock their doors, secrets stay buried, and bad things happen to other communities until the night an entire classroom simply vanished. And as the truth begins to surface, it's clear this isn't just another horror story, it's a puzzle you'll be desperate to solve, even if you're not ready for the answer. Maybrook isn't the kind of place you'd expect to make national headlines. It's the definition of quiet, the kind of American town where everyone knows your name, the diner waitress knows your order, and trouble rarely stretches beyond a traffic ticket or a neighbor's overgrown lawn. But that illusion shattered the moment 17 children, all from the same class, stepped out of their homes in the dead of night, as if pulled by an invisible thread. Every one of them walked into the darkness and disappeared. Only one child, a boy named Alex, was left behind. He couldn't or wouldn't explain why he didn't follow the others. And for the terrified, grief-stricken parents, Alex's silence was as infuriating as it was suspicious. Whispers started spreading before the sun even rose. People wanted answers, someone to blame. And suspicion quickly turned toward the one adult who'd been closest to them, their teacher, Justine. But as the police investigation stumbled, and the town's trust began to crumble, it became clear this wasn't a case of simple negligence, something darker was at work here. Something no one in Maybrook was prepared to face. But as the police investigation stumbled, and the town's trust began to crumble, it became clear this wasn't a case of simple negligence, something darker was at work here. Something no one in Maybrook was prepared to face. At the center of this unraveling nightmare is Justine, played with unsettling precision by Julia Garner. On the surface, she's the mousy, well-meaning schoolteacher, the kind of person you'd never expect to see at the heart of a criminal investigation. But as the days pass, her veneer starts to crack. Suspended from her job and drowning in suspicion, she turns to alcohol to numb the weight of guilt, or perhaps something else she's not ready to admit. Garner's performance morphs effortlessly, from timid to broken, from victim to survivor, and it's this complexity that keeps you guessing where her loyalty truly lies. Then there's Archer, brought to life by Brolin. He's a father driven by equal parts love and desperation. Using his background in construction engineering, Archer begins mapping where the kids might have gone, piecing together clues the police overlook. He's relentless, but there's a darkness in his determination, a sense that finding the truth might cost him more than he realizes. Alex, the only child who didn't vanish, becomes the town's most important witness and its biggest enigma. Everything hinges on what he knows, and what he's hiding. And finally, there's the local police officer, played by Alden Ehrenreich, whose troubled past threatens to derail the investigation. He's a man haunted by his own mistakes, quietly covering up cracks in the case that could change everything. Even the supporting cast, including Benedict Wong, bring a grounded weight to the film, making this more than just a horror story. It's a character-driven mystery where every expression, every hesitation, could mean the difference between solving the case, or burying it forever. The investigation in weapons doesn't march forward in a straight line, it loops, doubles back, and constantly shifts perspective. Just when you think you've got a handle on what's happening, the film pulls you back in time to see events through someone else's eyes. It's a style directly inspired by Magnolia, and it works brilliantly here. One moment, you're standing in Justine's shoes as she stumbles through half-forgotten nightmares. The next, you're in Archer's world, tracing the imagined paths of 17 children across the town like ghostly blueprints. Then you're with the officer, watching him make decisions that will bury crucial evidence deeper than the missing kids themselves. Each viewpoint adds another piece to the puzzle, but never in the order you expect. The film drops clues like breadcrumbs, some obvious, others maddeningly subtle. A face in the background of a dream. A detail in a police report. A casual comment that turns out to be anything but casual. It's the kind of storytelling that demands attention, not because it's confusing, but because it rewards careful watching. Every time the perspective changes, so does your understanding of what's really going on in Maybrook. And by the time the timelines begin to converge, the picture that forms is far more disturbing than any simple missing persons case. Beneath the suspense and eerie atmosphere, Weapons hits on something deeper: how trauma fractures small communities. The fear. The paranoia. The need to assign blame, even when the truth isn't clear. There are unmistakable echoes of real-world tragedies: sudden loss, parents grasping for meaning, and a community tearing itself apart under the weight of unanswered questions. Yet, the film never turns preachy. These themes sit quietly in the background, adding weight to the mystery without smothering it. For all its emotional weight, Weapons never forgets it's a horror film, and it earns that label. The scares aren't cheap jump cuts, they creep in slowly, seeping under your skin. Kregger builds tension with silence as much as sound. A hallway that's just a little too dark. A shadow lingering where it shouldn't be. Moments when you feel the answer is right around the corner. and dread actually finding it. When the violence comes, it's sharp and unsettling, but it never feels gratuitous. Instead, it lands with impact because the film has made you care about the people in the middle of it. And by the time the final act unleashes its most disturbing moments, the tension has been wound so tight, you're almost afraid to breathe. Weapons works because it's more than the sum of its parts. It's a horror film that doesn't rely on tired cliches, a mystery that refuses to spoon-feed answers, and a character drama that feels genuinely lived in. The pacing is deliberate but never sluggish. Over 2 hours pass without the story losing its grip. That's rare in modern horror, where too many films either rush to the scares or stretch a thin premise until it snaps. It's also a movie that respects its audience. It trusts you to notice details, connect threads, and sit with uncomfortable questions. And in a landscape crowded with quick, forgettable thrills, Weapons stands out as a film you'll still be thinking about long after the credits roll. In the end, Weapons isn't just another horror movie, it's proof the genre can still surprise you. It's smart, tense, and built to linger in your head long after you've left the theater. If you're ready for a mystery that keeps you guessing and a finale that hits like a gut punch, Weapons is worth your time. Just, don't expect to sleep easy after.